Hey, it's Joe Glines, my automator, and another episode of what we automated this week with AutoHotKey. Let me switch over to the desktop. Use Prompt Assistant. To start. This is modified files and a bunch of other scripts. Let's see at some point. I still don't think... Oh, I did move my webcam a little out of the way. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to change the height of that guy. There we go. Turn on Do Not Disturb mode. 35. I think I have more than 9 files. I know the guys did a lot of client work. 109. That sounds better. Yeah, so Danny, and now see who's this. Biofeedback. Okay, so it's Irfan's work, a lot of stuff with that. We're getting ready to launch a huge project with them. Jeff's been doing a lot of stuff with his stuff, a lot of stuff on LinkedIn and some other places. Joe Glines, auto shutdown. So I noticed my son was staying up sometimes till like 4 in the morning when I get up. And so I was writing a little script to warn him that, hey, the computer's going to shut down because he's often on the computer doing stuff. And so I wrote a little script. I haven't tested it yet on his computer, but it's pretty basic. But it runs certain days of the week, runs at certain times, and will warn him 30 minutes ahead, then like 15 minutes ahead, and then shuts down the computer. So I was working on that. Change owner. Man, I spent a little bit of time on this. I was really hoping I could go, in the user, in a normal text file, there's not much metadata where you can save anything. And I happen to notice there's like the owner, the name of the file, and the computer. Well, the computer name, when you look at a file, let me just bring up a file here so I can explain it to you. But it was all a waste of time, honestly, because it turned into where it just, it doesn't quite work. So I need a text file. This should be good, close enough. Go to properties, to details. And so here, notice there's no, there's the name of the file, there's the owner and computer. Well, this computer, I think it gets read in from memory from your system, so you can't change that. The owner, I thought, okay, well, what if I could assign a different owner? That would allow me to store at least a little bit of text. Well, it has to be a valid owner, unfortunately, because I was making a script to change the owner, which works, but the owner has to stay, so you have to go create a new owner for a new account on your computer, and then it would have to be there. So that I'm like, yeah, I wanted to be able to say some metadata about what was in the file, and I know I can use the data stream to just kind of write the stuff somewhere, but then it gets overwritten and it disappears, and people don't know it's there, and that's not the point of what I was trying to do. So that's what I was trying to do with that. This tool. I can run it. Actually, it might be running now, and it will detect if I change the DPI of any of my monitors, which is really cool. So it will then. That's what it was. The OCR tool. We noticed that it was. I noticed in last week's episode it wasn't working properly, and this tool, if it's always running, we can then notify our GUIs to say, hey, you need to redraw. Right, that someone changed the DPI on that monitor. You need to redraw. So I did that. Here's M. I had I think it was Claude. Maybe it was ChatGPT 5 when it came out, but I'm trying to remember which one I had it. I had it create Maestриest M class in V2, and I didn't bring all the functionality because it had a crazy amount of functionality, but I did have it to where now you can feed it. Let me open the folder here. So I haven't shared this yet, but it should be fine. I want Maestриest make sure it's a good look at it. I've been actually talking with him lately. But if I run it here... Oh, I commented out all the examples. That's why. So here's example 1. Well, we don't want to uncomment that. We'll uncomment these two. Save it, run it. So this would show us, hey, if you have a simple object, right, and even if it's nested, great. It shows you the contents and allows you just to feed it to it. So here's this one for an array. Save it, run it. Here's the key value pairs in an array. And then a map example. So this M function, now we can look at maps, which of course they didn't have those in V1. And here's the fun one, where it's an even more complex, where there's a test object, the test array, the test map, and some text. So all three of those things all at once, right? So this is one of the things I loved about this M function was I could just feed it the different things and it would pop them open and show me what's inside of them. So here you see the 1, 1, 2, 2, that's this guy, and then the item, the array, then the map, and then the text. So yeah, I borrowed that from Maestricht's M function. He had a lot of other stuff, but for me, this is how I used it mostly. Is I want to quickly explore an object. I didn't have VS Code or even Site can peek inside them, but sometimes you just want to make it really quick and easy. So it's great to me to have those things. I probably should just comment out the message boxes and leave these guys. Then it's easy to, because who cares if those are reused, right? Anyway, so that's what I did with an AI tool, and I was very happy to see that it did the job. So we made some updates to our error capture. It's pretty cool. It's actually running right now, and let's see if I go to, we can do this in Toolkit. Bring it over. I use my script to throw toggle between monitors, which is really cool. I can just click it and it throws it to the other monitor. So I'm going to say message box hello world, but that's of course a variable not defined. So when I go to run it, notice how, so a couple things. The error thing came up. Now this one I need to put a timer in for that as well. The we'll pull up the preferences here. During a hero call, Isaiah's made it where we have the timeout in milliseconds and the action you want to auto-click. You can have it do nothing, you can have it continue, you can have it exit the app or reload. I think by default, exit app should be the normal thing that we'll do, or maybe abort, which we need to add to that. So during the hero call, which I'll release, we're going to extract that part of the video too. But this cool, it's really cool because if I run this again, you'll see there it is. It says it's error logs copied to the clipboard. So when I paste this, you don't have to go select the message box and copy, right? Because it's really annoying and it takes time. So this has really sped up my interacting with the AI tools. So I'll take my content from the AI tool, try to run it. If I get an error, I feed the error right back to it. And what we'll probably do also is tighten this up. So because every thing takes a little more. You want to limit the tokens if you can, even though this isn't a lot, given that most of these things, but still just keep it really streamlined, right? So, yeah, we updated that. We haven't updated the download for that yet to include that part, but the fact that message, the error log stayed up there too, that should be a variable also. So we'll add that as another variable of how long the error stays in front of you saying it's copied to the clipboard. That seemed like a really long time. So we'll make that something that you can just simply change. Of course, it's in the script, so you can easily change that too. This runtime error, we won't even get into that. When hook, oh man, complicated stuff. Getting clicks, so this is one I was working on this morning, and we're finally, it's just going to be a fun thing to play with. Edit it. All right, so I'm going to run it, and now if I have a toggle, let me bring over my whole taskbar. Wow. With the DPI difference, it looks a lot different on this screen. So let's see. I don't know what this is. Getting clicks. That's actually running. Yeah, this is the one that we're looking at. So I have Control-Shift-S is my hotkey, and I can change it here, and I can open the folder, whatever. Let's say I had something very quick and just wanted to do some clicks. So I'm going to move my mouse here. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-S. Now it shows you the coordinates. Let's say I wanted to loop across these change. So I'm gonna left click, and notice in the bottom right it's telling me it did these things. Left click and left click. Now I'm gonna hit my hotkey again, Control-Shift-S. That's my hotkey to toggle that, and I can go now to, let's see, where is Toolkit, and paste. So it gives me. It turns on the mouse coordinates to be for the whole entire screen. It sets a sleep variable here, which is intermixed in between after every click. So, and it has some other stuff. You might want to comment this up, but I have the requires, the single is enforce, a hotkey escape to exit the app, and I set an icon so when I run this. So if I run this, you see this is a little trash can. It's not most visible, but now if I hit the Control T, it goes and does that script. I'm going to do it again. Control T. It's going and sending those clicks. Control T. So isn't that cool? I think that's a cool little thing. Let me go back to, let me do this, and let's see if I wanted to move my mouse. I'm going to hit Windows S, Control Shift S, it's my hotkey. I'm going to right click on this guy, and then I will left click, let's see, here. And then maybe I'll right click again and see what that does. Okay, Control Shift S. Oops, I can't do that in Toolkit. That's a hotkey in Toolkit, so I need to switch my hotkey. So now I'm going to paste. So notice there's a right and a left and a right and a left, and this last one I'm just going to go ahead and remove. Now, if you don't want the sleeps in between, you could either say sleep of 0, which I'll have to ask Isaias if that's the same thing. I think there still might be a little bit of a delay, or just delete those lines. Oops, I don't want to save it. Toolkit, you don't have to save it. I'm just going to run it. And now Control T. So notice it did the right click, it went over here, like it does all the stuff for you. Now, again, we rarely use clicks, but sometimes you have something very small. I need to click these 3 things in a loop like 10 times, right? So it'd be very easy to take that code and write it in a loop, or just hit the hotkey multiple times, right? But I can just put a loop inside here and do those actions or whatever, right? So it's just a little simple thing I was playing with as a sort of a quick macro recorder. But yeah, we'll at some point be making that available. I'll ask Isaiah if he can think of anything else or to add to that tool, but I think it's a good start. And obviously change your icon, but here as a reference. And this might have been overkill having the sleep in between them. I just thought it'd be handy to have it. And yeah, really cool little tool for creating a quick macro that you're just going to throw away. You just need to click a bunch of times right away and be done with it. So that was that one. I'll go back to recent modified files. Change detector, same thing. Effortless video reducer. I made a change on my copy. I changed this to be creating MKV files instead of MP4 files. So that was a little tweak I was trying. Doesn't seem to increase the file size at all, which is great. But also, MKV files allow you to keep the subtitles in the video, so you don't have to burn them in. But it keeps them. It's like a different kind of a container. So I was playing with that. This was we did this during a hero call of making. We'll have to extract. I think we will extract that as a video, but we'll talk to it a bit more because it's a great way to build. Yeah, that's right. It was almost an hour-long video that we extracted. But we'll have to make that available because it's great. Instead of having these long sleeps after you do, click here, have a sleep for 3 seconds because I don't know how long it's going to take, especially if you're using controls. Yeah, thanks, Zeus. If you're using controls, it makes it very easy to watch for something to see if it exists or if it's available. All right, OpenRouter. So, and I don't know if Isaiah's got to these yet, but this OpenRouter tool, I made a couple videos on it so far. I had a class working to do a prompt to it and also to send it an image and tell me what's in it. But I asked Isaiah, I was trying to get the PDF one working. I don't know if he got that one working, but I asked him to take a look at that class because now with OpenRouter, we can send it. We have one endpoint and we can connect to like GPT-5 or GPT-4 or Claude 4.1 or, almost any. There were 318 models last time I looked. Like it's a crazy number of different models. So we have one account and you don't have to have a monthly fee, right? You do use tokens. And with all the testing we've done, let me see here because I looked at it a minute ago. So we've used 17 cents and we've done a lot of testing, right? So really crazy that's how cheap it is. I was looking at this was interesting on the rankings. This is from within theirs, but what models are being used the most? So Claude 4 is by far way up there. It did drop some this week. It looks like that's per week. But we can scroll down also and look at like market share, which is really cool for over time, how things have been changing. So recently, it looks like Google just took a big jump up on this week. And then you can actually drag down here and say, okay, by kind of topic, it defaults to programming. In Claude 4, that's what I use a lot too. It is phenomenal at programming. But I can also say, well, what are people using for marketing? right? So it shows me within this tool how people are doing stuff. So I think it's really interesting because it allows me to figure out, hey, is there a certain one for health that maybe I should be using? I don't know why that one changes. Maybe I don't know. That's interesting. Oh no, that just scrolled up. Yeah, sometimes it does that. Health. There we go. So I think that's really cool. Marketing SEO. That's interesting. Technology, science, translation. Ooh, we do a lot of translation. Let me see which one is the top one for translation. Gemini Flash. Interesting. We might have to try that. I don't think we've tried that one yet. So anyway, this OpenRouter thing, very cool because you get one account, one token, and it can use all these different models, which is just phenomenal. Yeah, so Zach was doing some work on that library, which because I know one of our clients really is looking forward to that. But I think a lot of them, a lot of our tools will be independent now of the models, and allow us to switch between them very easily. So it's really cool. Triggers class, Rifadium. Irfan was helping a guy that had some issues with Rifadium, and he was just how he was using it. But that's a great, very robust way to work with web pages and automate them. Simple file renamer. So this one, yeah, let's see here. Old V2, yeah, we published this one. I'll just run it. But I did a video on that, so now you can drag in files here and rename your files very easily. Very cool little tool. And it has an undo button, which is super duper handy. Webcam reminder. So, oh, hey, I'll come in here and I just launched it, but I should have edited it. And change the height of that guy. So somewhere in here there's a height and width. I probably, since it seems like this comes up a lot, I'll work on, I think I'll do that after this. I'll adjust the overall. So here's the font size. Great. Somewhere is the position, main show, and coordinates. Yeah, so the Y needs to be a little lower. Might help if I hit a number. We'll try that. Let me just rerun it. Ironically, I have to move it to relaunch it. Oh, that seemed worse. Main show. I'm going to bump it way up just to see what happens. Oh, that was better. Okay. Let me move it up. No, actually, that's about right. And I just need to drop the height some. So somewhere in here, height and width. No, the illicit resize. Here we go. So height 265. We'll say 255. See how that goes. 245. But what I might do is, even though it's not complicated, let's do 225. That's probably too small. But you can, okay, that actually works. And now let me see if I can, no, that's perfect. That's great. So now you can see the buttons up here, and you can't, well, you can't see it. It disappeared, right? This thing disappeared when I launch it. I can type in text. So let me move this out of the way. So see, I can see the text. You can't see this when I run it, at least. That's at this DPI also, but that is when I use this tool the most. So the DPI is usually jumped up. So, yeah, but what I was thinking is I might put these as variables somewhere just to make it more clear and to quickly adjust them instead of having them embed and have to find them. But I'm not going to go back and change this a lot. But it's a really good point of, like, I might put the height and width position, like X position, Y position, as variables near the top, and the width and height. So there's the position and the width and height, and those should all be variables near your top, usually, like right up, as long as it's not a function and we need to make it global, which again, it's a small script, but make it easy to edit, right? And the other one, which actually, you know what I think we'll do is settings. I don't know what's in the settings file. Let me open this folder. I always do that with this thing here. Not that one. Here we go. Reveal and folder. Oh, nothing. That's interesting. So I'll give this to AI and ask it to save the last position. So when we move it and and if I close it, it will save that position. So then I don't even have to mess with the script, right? That's the, or maybe if I hold down Shift when I close it, kind of like Explorer used to be, have it save it to an ini file and then read that ini file. I don't know why there's a settings ini file, but apparently we're not using it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that very short video this week. Hope you're having a great time, and thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Cheers.